all those pictures are gone. I'll tell you right now, those pictures are long gone. I did not take any pictures of I took pictures of my guns for sure, but not with my vest. That one was that one was close to the chest, and I did not want people to see what I had.
We will deal with this offline. I've got Adam. I've got Adam there. He knows how to keep me happy. So thank you, AJ. Appreciate it. Did you have any final thoughts on this space, Adam?
Yeah, I'm just going to say the world we live in now doesn't seem to be true. It's absolutely real, 100%. But if you really think about it, we're talking to each other on the fucking cell phone all across the world based on materials and minerals that we mine from fucking rocks and that we turn and just so happen to be conductive of electricity. I mean, this world is it's a simulation. It seems to be a beautiful simulation. There's a lot of math that proves it is a simulation. It doesn't take anything away from the religions, because if you believe in the Genesis is, oh, we made the oceans in a day. We made this in a day. Maybe it took a day to create the code. But to take a step back, we're talking on phones that are absolutely magical. The human, the way we evolved as humans, we created planes so we could fly. We created boats and ships that we could cruise the oceans. There's so much magic in this world. And I gave everybody the example of the guitar. Like, for example, somebody could go to the store, grab a guitar and start playing the guitar and be like, oh, I learned how to play the guitar. However, if the guitar wasn't created, you would have to create it yourself. You'd have to start chopping down a tree. And, where do you get the guitar strings? Where do you do that? It would take you 100 years to build a guitar that we have now. It'll take you 1,000 years, but we have guitars. We have cell phones. We have all these magical things around us. All I'm saying is, I know we call this physical reality, but this could perhaps be heaven. And however we feel about it, and Tony Robbins says this, we humans make their decisions based on two things. One is to gain pleasure. The other is to avoid pain. I see it very similarly. I think we're in heaven and we do things that will bring us more heaven, the feeling of heaven, and less hell. But we won't get into that because, but that's it. That's how I see it.
Thank you, man. I'm gonna call him Mr. Motivator. You see, that's who Adam is. And let me say, I've been watching a lot of Bashar videos the last 2 days, AJ, and he is so, for me, like he always says, even if you don't believe it, like the information works, and I've always felt that. Are there any updates when it comes to Bashar, AJ? What's he on next?
No, he says the same thing. Doesn't matter where the aliens are. First contact is already here. It's people connecting more to the inner. When you hear the word demon doesn't necessarily exist as this evil entity. Demon or daemon in Greek means higher mind. So when you tap into the higher, you get quiet, you go within, and the answers are within, and then you start connecting to these beings. Whether you start connecting them through hallucinogenics or meditation, whatever the case is, stored deep within our code is the ideas of these beings. We see these beings in meditative states, in sleep states, and that's a form of first contact. So first contact has already been here. It's within us. It's our blood. And once we start accessing that, we'll bring the idea of first contact to life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like the things that I've been listening to, he's kind of talking about the UFO file drops, but he's also kind of saying that the aliens are coming, basically. It's not just the awareness of them. Like, this is in preparation for there to be this kind of collaboration and emergence of the NHI extraterrestrial beings actually being a part of humanity. That was very interesting to listen to. So yeah, like plug into Bashar, with everything that's happening with the UFO file drops, with the information that he's been giving out there for I think the last 40 years, it just feels so relevant now. Would you not agree, AJ?
It's some of the top information out there. He's one of the greatest minds I've ever met. And to be honest with you, I haven't heard. He's the number one channeler in the entire world. Channeling is a serious game, especially to the leaders of this world. So I'm surprised they didn't really get to him, but he's been quiet and underground for all these years. Now that everybody kind of knows him, but he's been underground. So it's an interesting, we live in a simulation and some people could tap into that. But this is what Bashar says. He goes, I channel these, what I would refer to as a being. However, every single person has the ability to channel. You do it by following your passion. Getting into those states, like AJ said, you get into that flow state. That flow state is goddamn magical because you're bringing ideas and information. Though that idea, if you talk about Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, and Thomas Edison, they believed that if they shut the hell up and listened and got into those states and listened, they could pull information from this field, and it's quite magical. We know that, and that's breaking through the matrix. Being quiet, overcoming the reptilian brain of fear and distraction, getting to those higher states, and bringing forth the information. You might have a life-changing idea that can not only change your life, but could change the world. So that's what he says.
How dare you put Edison in that group of men?
You don't like Edison? Or do? He's a thief, I know.
Edison was a thief. Come on. That idea, if he even said that shit, it was not his idea. Come on, AJ.
But even that, maybe he got the idea to steal from Tesla, you know?
There you go, maybe states. He did. Fucking elephant killer.
He killed elephants? Oh, I love elephants.
Yeah, but he twisted his... Oh my God, do you not know that? Oh, okay.
Look, we got Pitts on the stage. You see, when I say that I'm trying to close, and then Pitts and Nathan jump up. So I'm like, Nathan's done it to me again. He done this to me last time. He stayed in the audience all this time. And then as soon as I'm trying to close, then Nathan jumps up. Thank you, Nathan. All right, let's hear from Pitts first. Because I love Pitts. He's one of the OGs that have been really just got my back. So I appreciate that. Go ahead, Pitts.
I appreciate that. Amir had his hand up first if he wants to go ahead of me.
Okay, if you got time, go ahead.
Me? All right. Yep. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, a couple things. First of all, Daryl was cooking when he said that it's more that we breached the Matrix as opposed to destroyed it. Maybe it is crumbling slowly, but I think he was right when he said that. As for the simulation idea, I'm not sure where I always think it's possible that we might be in a simulation. I always think it's possible that there are aliens. Ever since I became agnostic, I think a lot of things are possible. But because I was religious and I felt brainwashed, and once I got out of it, I felt liberated, I'm very careful not to jump to the next belief system quickly. I'm more skeptical than I've ever been, so I'm just kind of holding multiple possibilities at once. I'm too skeptical to just accept that it's one thing or another. I need a lot of evidence. So that's why, despite the fact that, things are magical. The world is incredible when you look into it. And there's like mathematical precision and beauty there too. But that doesn't mean that it's a electronic simulation or whatever. And as for going within, a lot of people do that via meditation. This is what Hindus teach, and they talk about all these beings they see. And I can't really speak for that, but what I know for a fact is that meditation activates the frontal lobe, and the frontal lobe is very large in humans, and it's the thing that makes us humans. So if you use it more, it gets better. It's the thing that makes you human. Maybe you become a better human overall. I think that's fundamentally what happens. And many people have different explanations for what happens after they invest into their frontal lobe, let's say. Whether they meditate or take mushrooms or whatever, they come up with their own explanation. And we're not entirely sure what that is, but we can say at the very least, one's frontal lobe has been sufficiently activated. They have more self-control, more self-awareness, and a sense of purpose. So I think that's the most we can say about that for now, scientifically speaking, objectively speaking.
I appreciate that. Okay, I got the follow. I followed you back. It's nice to be acquainted. Appreciate you. Did you call him Amir Pix? Is that what you know him?
That's what. No, but that's what his handle says.
Does it?
Yeah, and I really liked his comments, and I liked AJ's comments. But I want to help maybe clarify a little bit on the lack of clarity that Amir seemed to have. And I put something in the nest that just came out, recently. I just saw it yesterday, I think, or the day before. The universe. Here's the headline: physicists mathematically prove that the universe is ultimately not a simulation. And the point being is, yes, there is an amazing cosmic play, and it is fungible. We have a role in it, and it can go a bunch of different directions depending on what the inputs to the system are. But this is not, as Amir said, an electronic simulation. There's a reality to this life. It's just hard to quantify simply, but it's not a simulation. And I mean, they could be wrong. I agree with that assessment personally. But I wanted to ask a question because I got here late. So what makes you all, so Daz or AJ, if he wants to come back up, given that he entitled the space, I think, or somebody else did. What makes you all think that we have broken the matrix? Why would there be a veil breach? I mean, what's the essential assessment of the space on that topic?
That's a good question. Who would even know it's Plato's cave, if you think about it. Maybe you break out of a cave to some new awareness, but you're just in another cave. And and maybe in the end you say, you know what? Whatever this thing is, I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to just be positive. When things go wrong, I'm going to try to see the good in them. And maybe I could see some pattern recognition. And then from that, maybe it could lead me. And then all of a sudden, in my life anyway, I felt like I'm led when I have that positive outlook towards things. And I'll give you an example. You have the Knicks. They were down 30 points with 15 minutes left in the game. And they stayed positive. 27 points, exactly. With, not too much time game. It was in the second half, and they stayed positive. They chipped away, one play at a time.
Did I drop or did AJ drop?
I think you got a call.
AJ dropped.
Yeah.
AJ, we can't hear you.
I just think
There he goes. AJ. I threw him a mic. Unless if he's cycling, I don't know. Yeah, he's coming back.
I think he might be driving. That's why we keep losing him. Is he coming back up? I can't even see him in the space. I mean, just to respond to Pix. Oh, go on, Pix.
Yeah, I was going to comment on what he said. Look, I'm all for being positive, and I do think that it makes a big difference in whatever direction we go individually and collectively. And you do have to have a vision of what your intention, desires are to get to that place, whatever it might be. But I am not feeling like the public is waking up. Are certain aspects in these rooms and other places? Yeah. Are more people realizing how badly they've been deceived, betrayed? Yeah, maybe. I think people realize that for a long time. But in my mind, if you look at it from the broad point of view, we have been in a control system since forever. And the question is, if we're going to break through any matrix, that's the one that we have to break free from. And I don't see any sign that we're really making progress on that front. So, pardon me for being a negative Nelly or a doomer or whatever you want to say. I can shit in a punch bowl pretty easily. But I think we're up against it. And I'm not saying that the human race has done its own individual shadow work, spiritual work.